All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today we're going to talk about something that honestly feels like a superpower. How to talk about pretty much anything for 5 whole minutes without a script and definitely without panicking. All you need is the right framework. Ugh, you know that feeling? Someone asks you a perfectly simple question, and suddenly your brain is just static. Total white noise. That awkward silence seems to stretch on forever, right? It's a universal heart-pounding moment. But what if I told you there was a strategy to beat it every single time? So how do we fix this? It all starts with one simple but really powerful golden rule. Answer first. So what does this actually mean? It's simple, really. Before you start rambling, before you give all the backstory, before you tell a long story, just give the direct answer. If someone asks, hey, how was your vacation? Don't start talking about the flight delay. Start with, it was incredibly relaxing. Boom, direct, simple. You've given them exactly what they asked for right up front. And what's so great about this answer first thing is that it lets you scale your response. You can give the short answer, it was great, and just stop there. Or you can add a key detail for a medium answer. It was great. The weather was absolutely perfect. Or you can keep building to a long answer. It was great, the weather was perfect, and you won't believe this amazing little restaurant we found right on the beach. You see, you're always in the driver's seat. So why is this so darn effective? Well, it's because it solves the problem for everyone involved. For you, it breaks that mental logjam, it gets you talking, and it gives you instant structure. And for the person listening, it shows them you were actually paying attention and it gets straight to the point, so they aren't left sitting there wondering where you're going with all this. Okay, so you've nailed the direct answer. You're off to a good start. But how do you stretch that into a full 5 minutes? Well, for that, you're gonna need a toolkit of simple speaking strategies. Let's start with the basics, the absolute classics, the 6 W's. Who, what, where, when, why, and how. Seriously, just running through this mental checklist can instantly generate a ton of stuff to talk about for any topic. Now this is probably my favorite because it just instantly creates a narrative, a story. So start with the past. We decided to go to Italy because we saw this documentary about it years ago. Then you bring it to the present, and the trip itself was incredible. It completely lived up to the hype. And finally, you look to the future. I think we'll definitely go back, maybe explore the northern parts next time. See what you did there? You just told a whole story arc. Easy as that. Here's another great way to add some real depth. Move beyond yourself. Start with your take. I thought the movie was fantastic. And then bring in someone else's. But my friend, who's like a diehard fan of the original book, she felt it totally missed the point. This just shows you've thought about the topic from more than one angle. And, just like with opinions, you can do the exact same thing with feelings. Start with your own. I was a bit nervous about the presentation. Then add someone else's. But I could tell my colleague was genuinely excited. Sharing those emotions, both yours and the ones you see in others, makes your story so much more relatable. It connects you on a human level. Okay, here's a big one. Don't just tell me what happened, show me. And the best way to do that? The senses. Instead of just saying, the market was busy, try something like, you could hear hundreds of people shouting, and the smell of spices was just everywhere. And the source material has this really fascinating twist on this, using abstract senses like time or direction. Think, we completely lost all track of time, or we got wonderfully lost in the old city's winding streets. That's so much more vivid. This is a fantastic structure for sounding really thoughtful and balanced. Talk about the positives, then acknowledge the negatives. For example, the food was unforgettable, but honestly, it was way more expensive than we budgeted for. Acknowledging the trade-offs makes your story feel so much more real, so much more credible. So when you think about it, all these different tools, the timeline, the perspectives, the senses, they're all just ingredients, right? And the final goal is to mix them together into a little mini story. So when you're put on the spot, don't think, I need to give a report. Think, like this quote says, okay, how did the story of this whole thing begin? So let's bring this all home. We've gone from that panicked, frozen, deer in the headlights feeling to having this full toolkit, one that lets you build a simple answer into a really compelling story. It's about a fundamental shift in how you approach these moments. And this right here, this is the single most important takeaway. Spontaneous speaking isn't about memorizing a perfect script for every topic. I mean, that's impossible. It's about having a reliable strategy you can pull out for any topic at any time. You've got the answer first rule. You've got the toolkit. You are literally equipped to turn any question into an interesting story. So the only real question left is, what story are you going to tell?
6-Minute Podcast. Business, study, life.